Hello, everyone. I'm Christy Forsyth. This is your weekly reading where we talk all about what's happening in the collective energy, the energy that's impacting each and every one of us, and how we can use this energy and make the most of it. So, I'm going to help you to understand the things that you're feeling, the things that you have going on in your world right now, because it is quite chaotic at the moment, and how we can pull from this and use this and make the most of everything that we have going on here with this energy. So I'm going to talk about the messages that I have for you, what I'm feeling in this energy, and then we're going to dive into a tarot reading at the end. We're going to build on the messages that we already connected with. So let's just start with letting me know how you're feeling, how you're doing. Are you finding that things seem a bit chaotic right now? I think for a lot of people, they do. I was talking last week about how we were closing out the eclipse portal. We have closed out the eclipse portal. We're on the other side of that solar eclipse now. And there was so much that was happening and still is happening with this energy that is inviting us to open our eyes, that is maybe forcing us to open our eyes in a lot of ways, right? Where things are happening that are inviting us or forcing us to see what we need to see in order to live the life that we need to be living, in order to make the changes that we need to be making, in order to create this new chapter that we are being offered here. Because a solar eclipse, and on the other side of that, and I feel like even over the course of the next few months, truly is a new chapter. And I think that we're going to start to see that developing more and more. And it's going to feel like a separate time in our lives than, back before a few weeks ago. So change takes time sometimes, right? But I also think that we're going to notice that there are a lot of shifts happening in our own worlds. There are a lot of shifts that are happening in the world, that are happening collectively. And it's all working together to usher us into this new chapter. But I think right now it feels chaotic in a lot of ways. And we even see that, right? We see that. I just got back yesterday from our 48-hour vibe upgrade retreat that we had in Orlando. And you should have seen the airport yesterday. It was crazy, understandably so, because I think so many flights were getting delayed and moved. Mine got delayed a little bit. There was so much that was happening, a lot of chaos and buzzing and things that were happening with the understanding that the hurricane was coming in. And obviously, this is looking like a pretty significant hurricane. And so I'm sending so many prayers and light to everybody that's going to be on its path, and hoping that this settles, because again, here in this chaotic energy, there's so much that's happening around us. And I think that we're seeing a lot of things happening in our world right now, and that can be really hard. I also think that there's an opportunity amongst the chaos, right? To take a look at that and to let it put life into perspective. I think that's part of the point of all of this, is to put some things into perspective, for us to take a look at where maybe we have gotten caught up in things that don't really matter so much, or where we're allowing ourselves to focus on things that aren't really part of the direction that we want to take our lives. And it's easy to get caught up in that, right? We're just human. That's such an easy thing for us to do. But things like this, experiences like this, things that happened with the hurricane before in North Carolina, for example, it gives us this opportunity to come together, to connect with one another. That's what a crisis does. And it also invites us to take a look at, how am I living my life? And am I truly living my life according to the priorities that I actually have? Essentially, we are anchoring in this new chapter, right? So we're making important decisions right now in this new chapter, what do we want that to look like? How do we want that to feel? What energy are we going to choose to anchor into our new reality? And so as there's all this chaos happening, we're making a choice to decide, am I going to be in the storm? Because this is the vision that I had when I was connecting with this energy, is truly like a storm and the eye of the storm. And so we can use the symbolism of that and say, am I going to let myself get caught up in the chaos that's happening around me? Am I going to let myself get caught up in the storm? Or am I going to choose to be in the eye of the storm? Am I going to choose to find the beauty amongst the chaos? Am I going to choose to find the peace amongst the chaos? And this is clearly easier said than done, right? This is not something that's easy. If it was easy, we would all be doing it and we wouldn't be getting caught up in this. So I think that we have to be really, really conscious and say, oh, there's something that is pulling me into the storm. Or, oh, this is something that's helping me to connect with my peace. Or this is something that's helping me to connect with the beauty that's available to me here in this world. And as we lean into the peace and as we lean into the beauty and the things that spark that within us, I think that this is where our power is this week. I think that this is going to help to support us to navigate the storms that are happening all around us. There's so much that's happening. There's been so much pain. There's been so much challenge. And I'm sending all of you light because I see you, and I see all of these with eclipses, and on the other side of eclipses, there's always like this settling in that has to happen. I would say with eclipses, there's so many moving parts that are happening, and like the moving parts are having to settle in, and so that looks like chaos. That looks like, is this going to be okay? Sometimes, like we're questioning that. That looks like loss and pain and struggle and challenge sometimes. It's a lot. And so we want to be tuning into what brings me peace. What am I recognizing even amongst the chaos that it is beautiful? I just had a session with somebody, and the whole session was just like us focusing on her gratitude and how grateful she was to be where she was, and how much she's focusing on that. And it, to me, that's, if we can get there, if we can do that, I think that is almost like that protection that we need from all of the things that are happening in our own lives and in this world around us. So wherever you find that, I would love to hear your ideas. Like, what works for you, or where are you finding the beauty? Sometimes the beauty is even in the pain, right? It's like, even when we're in challenging, very sad, difficult situations, looking for the good in that. You know, I'm watching a situation with a friend and one of their family members, and I'm just like watching the way that people are showing up for them, and I'm watching the beauty in the connection that's showing up. A lot of times that beauty is in the connection. And so can we also be that beauty for other people? I was at our retreat this weekend, and the connection that was happening was so incredible. And that to me is just so beautiful. And all of these people that were there, they're not people that I think would have ended up in the same room together had it not been for that event. And certainly maybe wouldn't be developing the level of connections that they developed with one another, but they did, because like if you boil it all down, we're all just human, and we're all just seeking that connection and doing the best we can to navigate this world and this experience, and to grow in the ways that we're meant to grow, and to handle the storms that are coming our way, and to support one another through the storms. And I think like this is part of the beauty amongst the chaos, if we can find it. I also think that it's just such a reminder that life is fucking short. So do what you want, live the life. I think that this is inviting us to live the life that we are feeling called to live. And so I think there's an invitation for us to take some leaps of faith, to move in a direction that we're feeling called to move. Or in some ways, I think like the seriousness of everything that's happening is helping us to lean into the new, to lean into the changes, because it's like the changes don't really feel that serious compared to all of the other serious stuff that's happening. Does that make sense? I hope so. This is not a time to waste time. This is a time to, like, if you feel it, if you need to say it, if you need to do it, like, do it. Because again, like, this is where we're creating that beauty. It's let it remind you and let it remind us of what really matters in life. Again, what are our priorities that we have? I also want to highlight, because I think that there's been a lot of clearing and there's a lot of readiness now for us to lean into this new chapter and to watch things unfold. And so there's beauty in that. There's an excitement in that if we choose to lean into the excitement rather than the stress and the struggle over the changes that we're making, because certainly we've been invited to make a lot of changes and I don't think that we're done yet. I want to highlight the fact that we either have or will be, I can't remember, forgive me, this week shifting into Jupiter retrograde. And while I don't find Jupiter retrograde, in my opinion, to be all that challenging, where I do think sometimes we can get frustrated with it, especially when we're in the place that we're in right now, because like we've made a lot of changes and we're like, okay, let's go, new chapter, I'm ready and I want to lean into this. The new chapter is unfolding and will be unfolding and things will be moving, but I think until this closes out in September, we may find that some growth and some progress around things is going to feel a little bit halted. So know that, like, that's a factor at play here. I don't want people to look at that and go, oh, well, maybe I'm doing something wrong, or maybe I'm not making the most of my new chapter, or maybe I'm not moving in the right direction. If your soul feels it, if you've been making changes and moving in a specific direction because this is what you know deep down in your bones that you need to be doing, keep going and don't let frustration over the rate of progress slow you down. I think that that's so key in this energy. So I want you guys to just tuck that away and keep that in mind in this energy. We want to be paying attention to what feels empowering, what feels inspiring in this energy. Holy shit, these cards are like jumping right out at me. Okay, we're going to get through this quickly, but how are you guys doing? What's going on in your world? Is it totally peaceful? Are you in the eye of the storm? Are you, literally or figuratively? Or what's going on? Let me know. I do want to let you guys know that if you're interested in future 48-hour vibe upgrade retreats, then let me know. These are like it's focused completely around spiritual and personal growth, and it's just a really beautiful process. The people who have been a part of it know and can absolutely speak to that. So if you would like to get we're going to do a wait list for this next one, right? And kind of gauge interest and be really mindful about the type of energy that we're choosing for this process. So if you think that that might be a good fit for you, get on our wait list. There's, certainly no obligation with that, but just showing your interest in that. Which one? This one. All right, we're going to go with an extra card today because I'm feeling it. April says, because of Hurricane Milton, I'm able to catch this live. One of the positives in the midst of the storm. You get it, April. You nailed it. That's exactly right. Yeah. We're going to send some prayers and some intentions out there, some light out there for April, because she's right there in it. So, all right, let's take a look at the cards. First card that we have here is the Ace of Pentacles. And these two cards, the Ace of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, jump right out at me. Like if that doesn't say blessings, I don't know what does, right? Like as much as there's a lot happening, there are a lot of blessings if we choose to see it, right? We see here with this Ace of Pentacles, this hand of God that is reaching out here and giving us something, offering us something. This, I kind of get the sense, like it's, when we just say, I just need to know that things are going to be okay. I just need some concrete evidence of that. I need a really good sign. This feels like a very signy sign that's happening, where something moves forward, something happens, something develops. And I also feel like with this card, like there's an invitation to plant some seeds in a new beginning. The Ace of Pentacles is a new beginning. So it's like, what seeds am I going to be planting in my new beginning? And paying attention to like the things that are happening, so you know what to weed out of your garden, right? Like sometimes the Ace of Pentacles is a garden. Can you see? Like I always see that as like a garden. Sometimes it's a garden that we're growing and developing, and we're planting new seeds in the rotation of things. And it's like, okay, but yes, but where are there weeds, right? Where do we need to weed out some things, some leftovers that belonged in the past chapter? We're being shown. This is still a very, I think I said this at the beginning, still very eye-opening energy. Let people show you who they are. Let circumstances show you what they are. And then you get to make decisions from that place. Like let yourself be shown as to like what the best direction is, what the best path, what the best new beginning is for you. And we also have that along with the 10 of Pentacles. Like this is all the things. This is well, it's the everything bagel of the tarot. It's like everything. It's all the good stuff, right? All the things in this world that we want and that we want to create. And it also has the stability to it. So this is really saying, okay, so if we're going to have a new beginning, we're going to do it right. And we're going to build it with a solid foundation underneath it so that it is stormproof, so that it is not going to be taken down so easily. We're going to do it right from the beginning so that there's stability and there's security and there is abundance and there are opportunities. So you might feel like you're restarting something, that you're rebuilding something, that you're recreating something, or you're frustrated that you're still at the ground level of something that you've been trying to build for a while. But this is saying that's happening because we're choosing to do it right. The universe, God is inviting us to do it right. We are anchoring in a new paradigm, a new reality for ourselves. And we want to do that from a place of truly what we want, truly what is best for us, truly what is our highest and best path. So keep that in mind, because there are so many blessings that come with this. The happiness, the joy, the stability, the happy relationships, whatever this is that you are creating in your reality for yourself. 3 of Cups in reverse. There may be moments, times, experiences that don't feel very celebratory. It's been, I have to say, it's like been quite a day today. Quite a day in a lot of ways. And not a great day if I were to like have to choose, is it a great day or or a bad day, right? Hasn't felt great. There's been a lot of things amongst this chaos that are happening, but we still have to find the things that are worth celebrating. And sometimes, by the way, all you got to do is go to sleep and you wake up and the day is reset, right? And tomorrow will be a better day. So some days you just have to call it and say, you know what, today was not the best day, but tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to look for the blessings. Tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to say from the beginning, the second that I wake up, today is going to be a great day. And I think that that's what we want and what we need to be doing here, continuing to seek the blessings, because Justice card is happening for us. It's all happening for us. It's developing. This is about moving things in a direction that are the payment for the investments that you have already put into your life. This feels so important. A rebalancing that is happening. We're in Libra season, so this is all about rebalancing. and finding the balance in our lives. So I also think we want to take a look at what's out of balance. And I think this energy will be showing us, it is showing us. And what do we need to do about it? Where do we need to center ourselves and rebalance ourselves? Where do we go too far in one direction? Where do we get too distracted on something that isn't really serving us? Six of Swords in reverse. Yeah, we might feel like we're going backwards a little bit in some ways. You know what I get with this? It's like, what we want to be doing right now is focusing so much on creating a life that we are so happy to be focused on the present for, that we are so happy to be living in the moment for, that we don't feel the need to be stuck in the past, reminiscing over stuff that wasn't as good as we are now telling ourselves it was. A life that makes you want to live in the present. A life that doesn't make you want to spend so much time focused on the future and where this and that and when is this going to happen and what is this going to happen, and instead finding the joy and the happiness in the moment. And we're working on creating that for ourselves. So it's like, oh my gosh, I'm just so grateful for what I have right now. Four of Cups, because there's a lot of surprises that are happening. There are so many surprises in this energy, but like, notice the way that he's like missing it. He's so focused on these cups at the bottom that he's not seeing this blessing and this gift of this new beginning that's happening for him. It's happening for you. The chaos that has ensued or the challenging things that are showing up, it's either something that is happening for you, or if not, God will find a way to use it for you to make you better anyway. Because some of this stuff is just not, it's just hard. And, you know, some stuff in life is just hard. And so sometimes I don't feel like that's happening necessarily for a reason, with the exception of maybe in some way, shape, or form, we had the intention in our chart before we even came here, or we have free will choices, and different people's free will choices are creating an experience here on earth. So again, even if that's not something that is happening for you, I truly believe that in this time that God will take this and create a circumstances to use it for you, to make the most of it, to create something better. And then we have the Knight of Cups. I feel like the Knight of Cups has come in a lot. I think that this is a great time to lead with compassion, to lead with our hearts, to make the offers that we feel like we need to make, to, to invite people to do things, to be open to accepting invitations, to be open to new connections, to do what we feel called to do where our heart is leading us. For example, with all of this stuff that's happening with these hurricanes, is your heart leading you to help in some way? This says follow through with that. You're never going to regret that. That's going to be a really beautiful thing. So there's a lot of opportunity in this energy. And I think that there's a lot to focus on outside of everything that's swirling around us that can be really challenging. So those are your messages here for this week. I also, by the way, just feel like so emotional right now. So I have to acknowledge that, because I suspect that a lot of you are feeling emotional. This is not easy stuff. Earth is not easy, and we're navigating a lot. And so I'm sending you all so much light as you're finding your way. Your intuition, your heart, your soul will be your compass, and it will show you the way every step of the way. I love you all so much, and I will see you soon with another video. Take care.